Hello folks, Rob Dreemeyer here. Welcome to Broadway Barfly. Today's cocktail is an old Hollywood classic, so stick around because we're making a brown derby.
If you're a theater fan who loves a great cocktail, click that subscribe button because Broadway Barfly is the channel for you.
In a previous video, I talked about the movie and the musical Sunset Boulevard and made a Boulevardier, so if you haven't already seen that video, check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. I thought the perfect follow-up to that show and cocktail pairing would be the Brown Derby, because the Brown Derby has its own tangential connections to Sunset Boulevard, both the street and the film. The cocktail was created in the early 1930s at the Vendome Club, which was located on Sunset Boulevard. It was owned by a man named Billy Wilkerson, who was the founder of the Hollywood Reporter. The cocktail was named for the restaurant, the Brown Derby. Now, why one establishment created a cocktail and named it for another establishment, I have no idea. Simpler times, perhaps. The Brown Derby opened in 1926, which was a pivotal year in Hollywood because it marked the end of the silent film era. In 1927, The Jazz Singer was released, and that was the first talking picture. And with the advent of the talkies, the careers of many silent film stars came to a screeching halt, including that of the fictional Norma Desmond, who Gloria Swanson plays in Sunset Boulevard. The Brown Derby is famous for a number of reasons. It had an iconic look because it was shaped like a man's derby hat. The restaurant gave us the first Cobb salad, and it had its place in pop culture cemented with the episode of I Love Lucy, where Lucy and Ethel and Fred have lunch at the Brown Derby, and Lucy makes a fool of herself when she spots William Holden there. And of course, William Holden played Joe Gillis in Sunset Boulevard. The Brown Derby was opened by a man named Wilson Meisner, who has an interesting place in the musical theater canon. Stephen Sondheim wrote about Meisner and his brother Addison in his musical Roadshow. The other owners were Robert Cobb, who's the namesake of the Cobb salad, and Herbert Somborn, who was Gloria Swanson's second husband. He filed for divorce on the grounds of adultery, and because Swanson didn't want a scandal in the press, she agreed to a financial settlement. And with that financial settlement, Somborn purchased his stake in the Brown Derby and expanded its number of locations. Who knew? The Brown Derby restaurants are long gone, but they do live on in spirit, with the Brown Derby at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Orlando, and of course with the cocktail. To make our Brown Derby, we need bourbon, grapefruit juice, and honey syrup. Honey syrup is something that you can easily make yourself. It's equal parts water and honey. You bring the water up to a near boil, add it to the honey to thin it down and make a light syrup, something that you can pour and mix with. So we'll start with 1.5 ounces of our bourbon, an ounce of grapefruit juice, and 1/2 ounce of the honey syrup. And we'll give this a good shake with ice. The Brown Derby makes a really great brunch cocktail, so if you're having a brunch and want to serve something other than your usual mimosa or screwdriver, consider serving up some Brown Derbies. We'll garnish it with a twist of grapefruit, and there you have an old Hollywood classic, the Brown Derby. Cheers!
If you enjoyed the video, why not give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends? Feel free to leave your comments and click that subscribe button because there's a lot more Broadway Barfly to come.